interview that we did with the great Lou Holtz from probably like 3-4 years ago. And then we're also going to talk to Sam Cunningham, legendary running back, most notably for Southern Cal in the big game, landmark game that he had against Alabama, scoring 4 touchdowns, and that really kind of opened the door for African Americans in the SEC because they whooped the dog doodle out of Alabama. And Bear Bryant's like, man, we got to get us some of them dudes. And the rest is history. And then, he opened the door for Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker and all of these great players you see and have seen over the last couple of years and last decades in the SEC. 404-382-0338. That's the number to the show. 404-382-0338. That is the number to the show. And you can email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Continue to tell people about the show. Are you a company out there and you'd like to work with the Doug Stewart Show? You'd like to partner with us and let us promote your brand, your company, your product? We'd love to work with you. Yeah, holla at me, man. Holla at me by emailing me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and let's do some business. This segment is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel, one-day fantasy sports for as low as $1. Check out my website, thedougstewartshow.com. Click on their banner link and check out FanDuel. All right, so today's Dougie Daily is we're talking about things that should go away or come back in honor of the Kansas City Royals. They're back for the first time in 30 years almost. The Kansas City Royals are going to the World Series. Just incredible. They've been playing fantastic baseball, undefeated in the postseason, 8 in a row. Great defense. Lorenzo Cain's been balling out of control, stealing bases, dynamic defensive plays, great bullpen, and they're just playing fantastic. And so they're doing a great job, so we're kind of honoring them today on this Throwback Thursday, and it kind of applies because we're talking about a team that hadn't been around for a long time. They're kind of like a throwback, George Brett, have you, and so the Kansas City Royals are in topic today. Let me read a couple of these chat messages before I touch upon some of the games that are very pertinent to Georgia and Atlanta sports. From Mike D. Reddick, he says, were those shoes designed to keep their ankles warm but their toes cool? I just don't get it. And he's exactly right. And if you're just joining me, I talked about some of the things that I didn't want to see come back or some things I wanted to see come back. And I says, some things I don't want to see and I want to go away are like those ankle gladiator boot things that women wear. And I haven't seen a lot of them lately. It just kind of popped in my mind. It was like a year ago or 2 years ago that they were plentiful, but it doesn't make sense. You got a boot, but your shoes out. your toes are out. These boots used to go up to the women's knees, but they were those sandal type gladiator things that the gladiators wore. It didn't make any sense at all. I'm with you, Mike D. From Rel Scott, bring back real old school hip hop. Get rid of this popcorn commercial music. And I 100% agree with that young man right there, Rel Scott. He's right. I told my wife the other day, we were riding in the car, and a song came on, and it was like, I don't know, one of those songs that sound like all the other songs on the radio. And you do know that in radio. They only play like 8 songs an hour. They play the same 8-10 songs all day long. That's nothing new. But it seems like the same producers producing every track because there's a little tempo to it that sounds so much like every other song on radio. It's horrible. I mean, it's absolutely horrible. Like, some of these songs are catchy, and I catch myself bobbing my head to it. But yeah, and another message from Griff, he kind of chimes in on the same thing. Bring back more diverse hip-hop. Like KRS-One and Rakim and Fat Boys and P.E. and De La Soul, early 3-6 Mafia, Ed O.G. and the Bulldogs, etc. And that's the thing about hip-hop is when you get old in hip-hop, they just throw you out with the bathwater. It's not like other genres of music where, the Rolling Stones and some of the Eagles or whatever, or whoever you can think of in pop and rock and roll that are just legends. Man, most old school hip hop artists, the architects of it, they don't get no love. They don't get big paydates. You can go back to Sugar Hill. Does Sugar Hill, are they regarded on the same level as the Rolling Stones? No. The Rolling Stones go somewhere and they sell out 50,000 seat Coliseum, and they get paid out the wazoo, and they're legends, and they get respected. Sugar Hill Gang, I don't think they're probably working a 9 to 5 right now. Sugar Hill Gang probably, working at a call center right now, and that's sad. That's sad. We need to respect the legends of the game more, I believe. All right, so you can email me, Doug, at thedugstewartshow.com. A couple of games this weekend, Georgia, Atlanta, centric-wise. The Falcons travel on the road to take on the Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens just destroyed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week. But everybody does that. The Falcons, one of their 2 wins came against Tampa Bay. But here's the problem with the Falcons, and we talk about it all week, all month, all year long. They can't stop anybody, okay? They're giving up 278 yards a game, the 29th in the league in passing. They're the 28th team in rushing yards. So defense, that just says it right there for yourself. 29th in giving up yards and passing, and 28th in the rushing yards. Excuse me. So the Falcons are struggling defensively, but the good thing is they're 3rd in the NFL in passing. You know about the high-powered offense. So hopefully this won't be a bloodbath as they travel on the road to a defensively tough team in the Baltimore Ravens. Georgia Tech travels to take on North Carolina this week after their first loss last week against the Duke Blue Devils. The Georgia Bulldogs are on the road as well. They travel to Arkansas to take on the Razorbacks and Brett Bielema. And big win last week, a huge win with no Todd Gurley, 34-0 over Missouri. So hopefully they can keep it going. And speaking of Gurley, word is that they're anticipating some clarification on Todd Gurley this weekend, and so they let him start back practicing this week. And word is that they should have something definitive about Todd Gurley and his future with the Bulldogs, with the whole autograph signing scandal, this, that, and the other. So we'll keep our eyes on that as well. You are listening to The Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. Got a couple of text messages or emails, I think 2 days ago. Somebody was like, man, what's the deal with your voice? What's going on? Man, I've been under the weather a little bit, but I'm a professional. I'm a professional, so we don't have the capabilities. I don't have the capabilities in my studio that I did at our other job over, a couple of years ago. So I don't have the ability to hit the mute like I should or I could, but it probably wouldn't be the best thing. So you're going to hear me clearing my throat every once in a while, and I apologize for that. 404-382-0338, 404-382-0338. And this is the Doug Stewart Show. Also, another big game this weekend is Florida State hosting Notre Dame. Can't wait to see that. An incredible game between 2 quarterbacks that have never lost. Yes, Everett Golston and Jameis Winston have never lost in the regular season. Now, you do know about Golston's loss in the national championship game. But, yeah, these guys have not had a loss in a regular season game, and that's the most those 2 quarterbacks have the most wins without a loss in the regular season in college football history, and we're talking about 10 games at least. And so it's going to be a great game. We're going to finally find out if Notre Dame is for real. Had just a shootout last weekend and came from behind, and won their game. Last-second touchdown, last-second heroics by Everett Golston. So a great game by that young man. And you know Jameis Winston. I mean, the guy's got a national championship. The guy has a national championship as well as, is undefeated this year. But all of the controversy surrounding Jameis Winston is definitely highlighted over the last couple of weeks. And he's got his own autograph signing scandal as well. So going to be a big game. That's one that I'm really, really excited to see and find out what's going on with those guys. All right. So 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Here's another message from Mike. He says, Doug, Chris Webber is talking about buying the Hawks via ESPN. Chris Webber talking about buying the Hawks. Is he talking about somebody else buying the Hawks or him buying the Hawks? And I love Chris Webber. And the last thing I do is, count somebody's money. But does Chris Webber have the money to buy an NBA franchise? Now, maybe he's talking about pooling a team of investors together and buying the Atlanta Hawks. Maybe that's what they're talking about. But I got to find out more about that story, and that just came across. So evidently it just happened a couple of minutes ago where, Chris Webber was on TV talking about buying the Atlanta Hawks. That would be great. I wouldn't mind that at all. I mean, bring a little notoriety to the team. Chris Webber's young enough where he's a guy that can influence some of these guys to sign with the team, and that's been a huge problem with the Hawks ever since I've been in Atlanta, is they can't attract free agents. And the organization has always had a bad name. Always had a bad name. So, we can't get a Dwight Howard even though he's from Atlanta. But we can't get you can't even start to think about a free agent like LeBron James or whatever coming to Atlanta because it just doesn't happen. It hadn't happened. So maybe Chris Webber putting together a team and buying the Atlanta Hawks would be great. That would be like a change in direction for the organization. I would like that. That would be cool. All right, up next on the Doug Stewart Show, we'll grab your calls. We got a couple of calls on the line right now. We'll also read more of your chat on Spreaker.com. We'll also read some of your Twitter messages, your Twitter posts on Twitter. And my Twitter handle is The Doug Stewart Show, @The Doug Stewart Show, so check that out. And, we'll do it like that and continue to have fun around here and talk about things that you wish would go away or things that you'd like to see make a comeback. Yes, don't go away. Sports talk for the people. This is The Doug Stewart Show. The Doug Stewart Show is off and running. But just like every company, we need sponsors. Would yours like to work with one of the livest, most dynamic, and recognized sports talk show personalities in America? By the way, that's me. Getting in on the ground floor? Well, call us at 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com and let's do business. From the smallest company in Atlanta to the biggest brands nationally and worldwide, shawty. People know me and the Stews brand in these streets. Holla at your folk. Once again, the number is 770-847-0536 or email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Yes! This your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-File, prescription savings, and a fully encompassed prepaid legal benefit that includes identity theft. They got your back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. I'm always saying get with the times. Stop acting like you at your mama house, calling that girl you met at summer camp 2 states away, and your mama screaming out, "I know you better not be talking long distance running up my bill with that little hussy girl." Well, get with the times with the long distance charges. Presenting Univon. Univon offers unlimited worldwide calling to 60-plus countries for $14.99 a month. No contract, no activation fee, and no cancellation fee. Users can call anytime using their mobile phone or home IP phone. So stop flushing money down the drain. Get more details by clicking Univon's link banner on thedougstewartshow.com or the link on the DougStewartShow.com app. Try out Univon and call your peoples like you not at your mama house.
It's a radio uprising in here. The Doug Stewart Show.
That's right. It's a radio uprising. Yes! And we are surely going to take over this industry and take over the world. Yes, Pinky in the brain. This is the Doug Stewart Show, and welcome back. And the number to the show is 404-382-0338. Once again, 404-382-0338. You can email me, Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. If you're just joining us, we're going to have on Lou Holtz. The great Lou Holtz is going to join us, or facsimile thereof. We're also going to talk to Sam Cunningham, legendary social legend. Yeah, he's legendary in the social aspect because Sam Cunningham was the running back for the the University of Southern California Trojans back in the early 70s. They took on Alabama.